It's not really all that sexy. It's not used by Navy SEALs, but it's one of the most inexpensive, rugged, reliable, feature-packed pistols that I own, and I love carrying and shooting this thing. So let's take a look at the Canik SFX. Welcome back to OG's Danger Show.
North Mont, apartment 4, open 911 line. Any Honda Canik 1779 and RD 457.
So I was headed out to the abandoned Indian burial grounds near my house to do some shooting drills with an old pistol and thought you guys might want to tag along. I'll buy the ammo. I wanted to try out a modified church drill using my old, beat-up Canik SFX and a brand new red dot optic from the boys over at Gowutar. Now, like the shooter, the Canik SFX isn't new. I've had it for about 5 or 6 years, and it isn't the newest trendy gun on the market. If you came here for trendy, you're in the wrong place. It hasn't been used by the Navy SEALs to zap terrorists from 500 yards. In fact, this Canik pistol isn't anything outstanding, and I'm not sure why I needed to make a video about it or why you'd even watch it. But for years, this thing has been hanging on the wall of my gun room, and I've wanted to make a feature video about it that entire time. You probably should have done a video when the gun was new, OG. Okay, I get it. But even though there's nothing inherently special about this gun, I love it, and I carry it a lot in colder weather when I can cover it with bigger cover garments, because the Canik SFX is a big gun. There's no getting around that. It sports a 5.2-inch barrel that Canik says is match grade, and I have no reason not to believe them because this gun is a dang tack driver. Like all Canik pistols, you get a ton of features built into the gun that are aftermarket options on other pistols. There's a flared magwell, and it comes with a really flared magwell in the box that you can add on with a set screw if you plan to use it for competition. It's a bit too wide for concealed carry, though. It's got some pretty decent texturing and a very natural grip angle. The trigger guard is already undercut. You don't need to whip out your Dremel and destroy another polymer pistol frame. It comes with these oversized ambi slide stop, slide release levers that make you think of old HK pistols. The takedown levers are as simple to use as a spoon, much easier than the little old metal wings on your Glock. The gun comes with 2 well-made magazines. One's an 18-rounder that sits flush, and another 20-rounder that has this wacky little base plate. They're made by McCall, the same company that makes all the Smith mags, Sig mags, and magazines for just about every modern pistol these days. The overall length of the Mete is 8.29 inches, and it sits at 5.75 inches high. It's a narrow 1.4 inches wide, which is much thinner than most guns out there these days. It weighs in at 1.6 pounds empty and 2.4 pounds fully loaded with an 18-round magazine and one in the chamber. And let me save you having to type out your comment below. Yes, the Canik TP and SF line pistols are licensed copies of the Walther PDP. Now, I haven't owned a PDP, so you're going to have to listen to my thoughts on this budget, everyman's version of the PDP. If you've ever shot a Canik pistol, any Canik pistol, you know that they have amazing triggers right out of the box. The factory triggers are better than the Apex triggers I spent time and money installing on some of my Glocks and my Smiths. Now, I'm not a big trigger snob, but these things are smoother than a shaved Dolphin, with an incredible break. I measured mine, which has been broken in by thousands of rounds, at a little over 3 pounds. And that, of course, makes for a more accurate pistol when we, the shooters, don't get the chance to screw things up by yanking a rough trigger and pulling our shots off target. I love the slide cuts on this pistol. After this gun hit the market, Canik made the rival line of pistols, and the slides had a ton of goofy cuts and serrations. The dang thing looked like some sort of medieval sex toy with all of its bumps and ridges. There's too many lines for my taste, but the Mete SFX just looks cool, at least to uncool guys like me. The front of the slide has these jivey ports cut into it. And these things help you, well, they don't really help you at all, but they look cool. And you know that wins most gunfights. There are front serrations that help with chamber checking your gun, and on top, Canik includes some suppressor height sights, so you don't need to go and buy them when you want to add a red dot. Oh, did I mention the slide is cut for a red dot if you like them? And I like them a lot. This is just one man's opinion, but red dots are force multipliers, and they make getting fast, accurate hits much, much easier. I was able to hit 20-yard steel targets while moving with ease using the red dot. And I don't think I could have done as well with the old missionary-style iron sights. I recently smoked a tactical pistol course with a Glock 19X that was outfitted with a Holosun red dot. I was shooting better and faster than any of those younger, faster guys in the class. The only thing that wasn't perfect with this gun out of the box was a semi-slippery backstrap. When I tended to grab onto the gun and grip really hard, it would slide sideways in my hand like I was at some kind of ditty dance party.
I'm not afraid of clowns.
I remedied this with some of this awesome textured grip tape made by Handle It Grips. Now the thing sticks to my hand like it's glued there, and it's super easy to draw from the holster. The Mete pistols have a narrow slide, a lot like a 1911. Much thinner than a Glock slide, which sometimes looks like the landing strip on an aircraft carrier. This thinner slide makes the gun easier to carry, and again, makes it look sexy, and that's the most important thing. But because of this thinner slide, typical red dots don't fit. They're just too wide. You need to mount an RMRCC type optic to your gun. That's the trade name of the Trijicon micro red dots. These are thinner dots with smaller windows, typically used on subcompact and micro pistols. You know how a lot of YouTubers say, I've been getting a lot of questions about my fill in the blank. Well, the truth is nobody asked them about their stuff. They just want to talk about it. And I want to take a second to show you a tough as hell little optic I've been testing lately. It's the Gowutar HHC-17, an inexpensive little dot that comes in the RMRCC size that I just mentioned. This little Gowutar is dang tough little optic. And here's a little secret you might not believe. I previously had an actual Trijicon RMRCC mounted to this Canik SFX pistol, and I loved it. But for this review, I swapped it out for the Gowutar HHC-17. And I've got to say, I actually like the cheaper optic better. I know it sounds weird. The dot is crisper for my aging eyes. And of course, there are 3 reticle options that the Trijicon doesn't have. You get, of course, the red dot. You get a big circle with these little crosshairs. Or you can combine the two and put a red dot inside of the circle. One of the things I like most about these kind of red dots that if they go down or you break them, they're so dang inexpensive, you can easily get another one shipped to your door from Amazon in a day or 2. But they are super rugged, and I seriously doubt you or I will ever break one while running errands for our wives. While I was running these modified church drills, I dropped the gun a couple times off the tailgate of my truck onto this rocky, dirty deck, and I just wiped off some dust and went back to work. Now, it's not a true torture test, but it's likely to be the only real damage most of us will put our guns and optics through. I don't think YouTube will like me putting a direct link to them in the description section because, you know, thousands of people will die if I show you where to buy a red dot. But I'm betting someone in the top of the comment section will have a link where you can get one. Now, I don't make any money if you buy one. I don't get paid by these companies to push their products. But Gowutar sent me 2 of them. The dirty beat-up one on this gun and one to give away to you slackers. And I'm a big fan of anything affordable that is tough as hell. And if you've seen my previous torture test of the Gowutar rifle sight, you can see firsthand that they're built tough as nails. The guys over at Gowutar sent me a second rifle optic since I deliberately destroyed the first one in this video, and we mounted that one to a slug shotgun over on Tauflader mouse. It's been running perfectly for the past couple of years, despite an outrageous amount of recoil and abuse in a hot, dusty environment. Now, I mentioned that I have an unopened Gowutar HHC-17 micro red dot here that I'm going to give away over on my Patreon channel because I want to support the guys who support me. If you'd like to help support OG's Danger Show, use the link down here in the description section to join us over on Patreon. I have a lot of stuff that I got to give away here in my office. And the first thing is going to be one of these cool little red dots. So join us over on Patreon, and a big thanks to my current Patreon supporters. Now, the whole reason I went out to the range was to run some modified church drills. Now, a typical church drill starts from the seated position, facing away from the target. There's no set distance for your targets, but I like to shoot them from about 15 to 20 yards away. We're in a church in this scenario, and the distances will be longer than your living room. Plus, you're likely to have blue-haired ladies and suit-wearing grandpas with bolo ties buzzing around you in your line of fire, so accuracy at distance is the key here. The typical drill requires 2 rounds on a single target in 5 seconds, and I was able to pull this off rather easily with that little Gowutar red dot, but I added in some extra bad guys and quite a few more rounds downrange, because I think it's written in Ephesians 2:13, if you're going to shoot down bad guys, shoot them a lot. I think it's Ephesians, I could be wrong. I had so much fun shooting this drill and different variations of this drill that I kept on shooting until I burned through about 600 rounds. Those 18 and 20 round magazines sure eat the ammo without you realizing it. Oof! Despite its size and the length of the barrel, the old Canik came on target fast, and I was able to deliver follow-up shots at a decent rate. There are a lot of fancy tactical clowns on social media these days shooting ridiculously fast. They tend to have tactical beards and one arm covered in tattoos, and that evidently makes them shoot faster. Or maybe they only show the best shooting of the day after hundreds of warm-up rounds. Some of them have even been caught speeding up the footage to make themselves look cooler. But not here on OG's Danger Show. You get to watch a doughy middle-aged dad with no tattoos stumble over rocks and even drop his shit from time to time. I had a few misses, and you'll see them right here along with the hits, but overall I was satisfied with how this pistol and its little red dot friend came together to do the Lord's work. When I was all done shooting, a Great Pacific Northwest range chicken appeared out of the woods and asked if he could have my brass. I was happy to have the help cleaning up my shooting area. I don't want to get all up in your business. I don't want to become your OGGYN, but please clean up your shooting spots so we don't get them closed down. Pick up your brass. Pick up another guy's brass, even if no one is around to see. Got a truck? Take a few pieces of garbage home with you. Our shooting spots are going to get closed down if we keep leaving boxes and washing machines and old VCRs out there after we're done showing them how badass we are with our guns. So do it for your Uncle OG. Clean up your range and take a little extra garbage home with you.
Oh yeah, that's got a good feel to it.
So it may not be the newest, coolest whiz-bang gun in the gun case. It isn't carried by special forces. John Wick didn't pick it out, although Terran Tactical made a John Wick version of this gun that kind of looks cool, but does nothing this beat-up old workhorse can't do. Lots of guys online like to shit on Canik, but a lot of guys have zero experience with them and are most likely eating chicken nuggies right now, drinking Sunny D through a curlicue straw. I'm not sure if you've been on the internet, but it is full of clowns who have lots of rock-solid opinions and zero experience running these guns. I, however, have been shooting and carrying this Canik SFX for about 5 years. Not exclusively, but often. I put several thousand rounds through it, and I can't think of one malfunction that was the gun's fault. I've carried this gun as my only self-defense option on several road trips, and I've never regretted it. Now that's a real-world, multi-thousand round test that you can believe in. If you've never tried the Canik line of pistols, give them a try. They're not paying me to say this. They didn't send me this gun or any gun. In fact, twice I've emailed Canik asking to buy, not for free, but to buy some new release pistols for gun reviews. And I can't even get a reply back from them. So this is my opinion from a guy who purchased it and carries it. You get more gun and far more stuff in the box than any other pistol on the market these days. And they're usually about $200 less than all the fancy brand name guns in the gun case. And of course, don't forget to check out the Gowutar red dots. They're rugged little bastards and they're super affordable. There's really no reason anymore to waste a lot of money on Trijicon or Sig red dots that are 3 or 4 times the price. They're that good. If someone leaves a link below this video, I'll pin it to the top of the comments. You guys need some sweet Danger Show swag that'll help you shoot better, drive faster, and satisfy your spouse like never before? Check out the link below to Southern Gals Crafts, the exclusive maker of OG's Danger Show t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, tumblers, and all other cool stuff that you didn't know you needed. Help support a small mom and pop shop in Alabama while also helping support the Danger Show. Now I got to get this range cleared up and headed back down the mountain. You guys stay safe out there. Stay armed whenever and wherever you go, even if it's with a reliable budget pistol and a rock-solid cheap red dot. Until next video, OG out.